Markers, you have the highlighter.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, hello. I think I know
That's
you.
the way we do it.
Rebecca.
Who?
Rebecca.
Rebecca?
Yeah.
Second?
Adriana.
Gotcha. Okay. Team Canada, first speaker.
Me, Jessica.
Jessica, second?
Harry.
Harry? Thank you. Need Tommy?
Yeah.
Here's your timer,
Okay.
okay?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, half minute, and a countdown.
Okay. I'm also timing myself.
Cool, fine.
Is everyone ready?
Give me just a second. So it's written.
Have we ever judged together before? I didn't think we had. This should be fun.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can't split.
We should split.
I always think that's good. Okay,
I got it. I don't know.
You got it. Good.
Maybe, should I start?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, we stand here today to affirm today's resolution. First, we'd like to provide a few definitions. Targeted online advertising is search results that are garnered to a specific individual, meaning I'm only aware of certain products that are being sold, or I'm only aware of certain companies in existence. Information based. This is provided based on information on profiles and demographics that are often provided through internet sites like Facebook and Google, which use my search results and the information that I have already inserted into their programs and sell it to companies. First, we'd like to note that this is not a debate about the implementation of a policy. This is a debate about values and whether we want to live in a world where companies have access to personal information that we insert into the internet, not to necessarily be part of a marketplace, to be part of an exchange of ideas. First, this debate is ultimately about the right to know. First, knowledge is power, and manipulation of that power creates unfair influence in a society and allows companies to determine what information you have access to and what information you don't. Second, the right to know is in the UN Declaration of Human Rights and is a fundamental way humans can interact with each other based on Article 19, I think. And third, the right to know is important because even if we want economic efficiency, the way we have a free market is having access to knowing about all products and knowing what is the most economically efficient decision for me, and letting an individual make that choice, not letting a company or a website decide that they know what you want before you have the option to make that decision yourself. Overall, we're going to tell you why having targeted internet advertising specifically harms both individual consumers and the economy itself, especially involving small companies. First, people unknowingly give their information to these companies and don't know that the information is being sold. When I go onto Facebook, first, no one reads the terms of services agreement, so we don't know how this information is used. And furthermore, even if I say I consent this information, I don't know what's happening with it, and it's not a legitimate contract. Furthermore, there are people who use the internet that don't represent themselves in a truthful manner. People that are minors, for instance, that don't necessarily consent to a contract knowingly. So all of this information is achieved in a very immoral manner and wouldn't be proper to use in some sort of internet marketing. But furthermore, by having specific targeted information, it creates a sense of sensationalism. If I'm a company and I know that half the people who search shampoo are women, and I want to market to women, for instance, and I know only to tell them about certain information and not other information because I don't want smaller company competitors to find out. So one, you harm the consumer because the consumer doesn't get the choice of saying, no, it's better for me economically, it's better for me based on the quality of shampoo, for instance, that you're providing, for me to choose the small company and I only know about the big company option. And this is huge because lots of people use the internet as their primary way of buying products. And furthermore, by having specific targeting and creating databases of personal information, this creates a world in which the internet is not a forum for ideas and a way people can actually interact with each other around the world. It becomes a fight for sensationalism, and companies aren't incentivized to tell the truth. They're incentivized to tell you what you want to hear rather than you making the decision for yourself about what you want. Furthermore, having online databases of people's private information allows the government to still have access into the information because they can always ask for a warrant and always look into your personal information. The government can always say, oh, we need access to this information. There was a huge issue with the NSA, for instance, in the United States, and people aren't comfortable with the idea of having government potentially have access to their own personal data. This is horrible. People are applying for credit, are applying for a loan, and they see some bad credit history or someone has their credit card account. We don't want to have these online databases. And second of all, it harms small businesses. First, Facebook and Google aren't regulated to the point that small businesses can also try to advertise in a online marketing world. It benefits large companies that can say, okay, we want 300,000 hits and we'll pay you $1 million for it. Rather, small companies can't participate in any sort of these negotiations, and this is terrible for the free market and causes monopolization, allows one company to take hold of a large marketplace online, which is huge economically. And monopolization is bad because it allows one company to have a huge influence over the GDP, for instance, of a company, and affects internet policy as well as general policy for that country. And furthermore, it's just also horrible for the economy because it doesn't let people make the decision for themselves. Primarily, this round is about the right to know and individual autonomy. It is not up to the internet, up to companies who pay for online targeting to say, okay, we believe that you want this, so you don't get to make that fundamental choice. It's not up to companies to decide, okay, you don't have the right to this information because we believe you want to hear this. In the affirmative world, we believe that the internet should be a way people can access information and decide to make the proper decision about what they economically want for themselves, but not be a way that companies can manipulate the information you know about, which it doesn't always have to do with economics. If you want to learn about policy, for instance, your information about politics that you're Googling, for instance, shouldn't be influenced by companies. We want to be in a world where you have the right to know all information that is unmanipulated by people who could possibly benefit from you. We want a world where people know what's happening with their information, and we want a world that says, okay, you can participate in a marketplace, but we want you to be able to make the right choice about what you want, not let big companies do it for you. Thank you.
Mary, we need time.
Yes, please.
I can time this off.
Okay.
Just gonna start.
Okay. So may I begin?
Sure.
Okay. So the first question that I have for you is internet the only way for businesses to advertise?
I'd say internet is one of the primary ways.
Yeah, we agree. Well, maybe the one of the primary ways is the only ways the businesses advertise. That was my question.
I think it'll become the only way people advertise in the very near future, and I think it's also
In the status quo, I'm asking, is it the only way for businesses to advertise?
for some people, yes.
Okay, so when we go to stores, how many types of shampoos do we have? We can choose from?
It depends on your store. I
Okay,
can't speak to
so
that
just by
personal
showing
access
people
to.
advertisement on one type of shampoo, are we forcing these people to buy that type of shampoo?
No, but you're only telling them about certain
Okay, do
information.
people have the right to view other shampoo advertisements on TV, or just go to the store and read the back of
TV
it?
is also targeted advertisement, so I would say that would still benefit large companies, and it wouldn't help small businesses.
How is TV targeted advertisement?
Okay, TV still targets, right? They can say, okay, I know mostly teenagers
okay.
watch How I Met Your Mother, so I'm going to advertise this to teenagers,
Okay.
right? So,
Okay,
But
so
small
when people-
businesses can't pay the $5 million to post an advertisement or to figure out who's watching what show.
Okay, so when people go to the store, are they forced to buy the shampoo that they saw an advertisement on, or would people just read the back of the shampoo and just do people have the right to choose which type of product they buy?
Sure, people have the ultimate choice, but our argument is that it's not an informed choice.
How is it not an informed choice?
Because if internet is a primary way and often the only way some people can access certain products, shampoo is a bad example because more people buy more valuable goods online. Then if that's the only way that they can actually choose what product what they want, and they only have access to the information that big companies have paid to put online, they can't choose from all the options. And a free market is only economically efficient if people can say, look at product A, B, and C, but they're only getting product A because B and C can't afford the amount of money to get into the advertisement on your Facebook newsfeed.
Okay, so what your position is that only big companies get to use this type of advertising?
I'm saying big companies are the only ones that can really afford to use it effectively. And we're also saying that even if some small businesses can too, it's not an effective marketplace. And furthermore, it shouldn't be sold anyway because we don't want the internet to be this manipulated by the economy. We want it to be a form for information.
Okay, so moving on to the next question. You have stated, you've talked about in your speech about how people never read terms and conditions, correct?
People never what? Sorry.
Reading terms and conditions and the things that they're agreeing to?
Well, my argument is one that if you've ever tried to read a terms of conditions
well,
contract, if people don't understand it, any government would probably say it's not a legitimate contract. You still don't know what's being done.
Okay.
With
So
that
if
information
the business actually gives its people terms and conditions to read, but people decide not to read this, is it the people's fault or is it the business's fault?
There are people who are literally not of the age to consent that say, okay, I'm okay with the terms and conditions. So, yeah.
Need time?
Yes.
Take this. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Are these your notes?
Oh yeah, sorry. Thanks.
Okay.
Oh,
Whenever you're ready.
I don't know.
The green button.
Okay. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, honorable judges, and worthy opponents, today we side opposition are proudly able to negate this resolution. Targeted online advertising based on user profiles and demographics should be banned. Now, before we move on to responding to our opponent's contentions, we would like to bring our own case first. The two contentions we have gathered here for you today are 1, create a culture of online netizens, and 2, business rights. first creates a culture of online netizens. The opposition side believes that people on the internet should be responsible of their actions, and we believe the importance of the responsibility that people should have. And we believe that through this, through the opposition of this resolution, we believe that we must fulfill a responsible society on the internet. We believe that it is important for people to be aware of the terms in what corporations they sign up for, such as Facebook or Google. And we believe that we would prefer a world where people are aware and responsible, and they are aware of the consequences of what they do. For example, on Facebook and Google, yes, business models are, such as Facebook and Google, their business model is based on the distribution of information, and therefore, and it is clearly written in the terms and conditions. It is clearly written, and although yes, we agree that nobody would like to read hundreds of pages of terms and conditions, and rarely anybody does. However, we would like to state that that is why this is beneficial, because it would create a society for change. If people really do not like the targeted, if people really oppose the targeted advertisements, and they do not like that their information is being sold, they will notify, and the market demand will change, because businesses run for money. If what the people want, whatever change that businesses can make, if it profits them, they will make it. And if the people want the change, then the businesses will make the change too, because businesses want to make profit of the people. We would also like to state that we the citizens give the info, and the internet sites such as Facebook or Google, they do not illegally steal the information for us. We are the ones who voluntarily give the information to them, and therefore we believe that the business have the full rights to distribute our information too, and which will be expanded in our second contention. However, also, people give consent to these sites, and because if we do oppose what businesses do, if we do oppose targeted online advertising, then we will say something. We will say something to the businesses. And if we do oppose it, then the businesses, we are taking responsibility of our own opposition, and the businesses will change for the benefit of their marketplace. Second contention, business right. We have legally given them our information. We would just like to go over that again. The businesses do not illegally steal information from us. We are the ones that give them information. Businesses have the right to profit. That is why businesses exist. Businesses exist to make money off of people. And we believe that it is not moral for the government to decide on how businesses will run. We believe that this is a very corrupt system, and it is not in the government's duty for them to tell how the businesses should run, what the businesses can do or cannot, because as we have stated before, most online businesses such as Google or Facebook, they are run to make profit. They are run based on the distribution of information. Also, we believe that government controlling businesses is very unjust, and government controlling the means of production is also very corrupt, because governments should not and do not have a say in how the businesses run and how they make money. Also, our opponents have, we would also like to state that big businesses are also business model based on distributing info. However, also small businesses will also benefit from targeted market. For example, if a business that sells sanitary pads advertises to a group of males, will they profit from it? No, they're targeted to women, because women use sanitary pads. That is why they are targeted to women, and that is how the small businesses themselves benefit, and that is why the small businesses will benefit from this too. Now moving on to responding to some of our opponents' points. Our opponent's 2 points actually directly clash with our 2 points. Our opponent's first point was basically that people have the right to know, and no one reads terms and conditions, and basically stuff like that. But we would like to state that, again, that businesses run for money, and they make their terms public. Although they do not notify us when they change their terms, that is why we are saying that if we want them to notify us, we should let them know. We should know that we are opposing their targeted information, and that is what creates a responsible society. Also, it is the service that we are receiving from signing up to Facebook, Google, or whatever. It is the service we are signing up for, and it is the information that we are giving we are giving the legal consent, and therefore we believe that it is not a violation of privacy because we are the one openly distributing the information. Moving on to their second contention on harm small businesses. This once again directly clashes with our second contention. Our opponents have stated that small businesses cannot participate and they also have the right to know, and that businesses sell information and basically there needs to be participation in the marketplace. However, we would like to once again state that small businesses benefit from targeted advertisement. Regarding our opponent's fact, their example of shampoo commercials, if I am a person that uses shampoo, how would a shampoo advertisement hurt me? Isn't being notified of more shampoo better for me as a shampoo user because I am notified of more products that could be beneficial to me? Also, we regarding to their fact on participation in market, this will allow businesses to become more beneficial, and therefore we strongly oppose. Thank you.
Can we take 1 minute?
1 minute. Oh, sorry.
Okay, first of all, they're a big, like Kotex is a big brand business, like it's not a small business. Yeah.
Questions.
Okay, so as a minor, do you consent to your private information being given? Because you're a minor, you're under 18, right? So they can, I don't know how would that be happening.
If you're under 18, can,
So to ignore that, so it's
as an under 18, can you consent? Can you give your consent?
Ask her if she knows the companies that know about her Facebook information.
Yeah. Do you know the companies that know about your Facebook information?
I mean, ask about your typical shampoo commercial and see if you find out any information actually about the shampoo, or if you just see the pretty ladies.
1 minute.
Let me start. Okay, at first, in your argument, maybe you're talking about target, but I can't understand. Please explain it.
By targeted advertisement,
Yes.
it's basically companies targeting towards people that will buy their product. So as your opponent, as your partner has stated, like shampoo companies will target towards people that use shampoo because they want people to buy their products so they could profit.
Okay. And about, do you know the company that Facebook give you the information?
Pardon?
Do you know the company that Facebook give you the information?
Facebook distributes information. That is their business model. That is how they make money. And it clearly says the reason that we would like to clear this up. The reason that Facebook, the legal age to use Facebook is 13
maybe
years old.
Maybe you say the word legal, right? Who decide what is legal in advertising?
In advertisement?
Yes. Maybe you said that it is there are legal consent, but who decide what is legal and not?
As long as because advertisements come from companies, not Facebook. Advertisement comes from on Facebook. It does not come directly from Facebook. They come from companies who pay Facebook to advertise it on them. It's within that company's policies to decide what things they advertise.
I make you complacent. I'm sorry. And about your first argument, maybe you talk about change. Maybe you talk about society changing, change of society. But what change means?
Well, what does change mean? Okay, we are saying that businesses will do whatever they need to get more profit. Whatever the change they can make to get more profit, they will do it because businesses run for money. That is an obvious fact.
Okay, why?
So if people do not like this targeted information, this will create a more responsible society because people do not like it, they will oppose it, and they will try to change the marketplace. And if they do not, the companies will change to what the people want.
Okay, thank you. Why big companies should make such culture?
What culture? I don't understand.
You talk about culture, but why?
No, we talked about the responsible culture of the citizens. But if you're talking about why this big companies apply to this resolution, well, it is because big companies that makes targeted advertisements, if that wasn't already clear.
I can't understand who make the culture change. Who change culture?
Well, people make up culture, and if the people want a change, if the people want something different from the businesses,
Okay, who affect that people?
the people's needs affect their decision to change.
Thank you for answering.
Fair.
Honorable Judge, during the cross, the opposition was asked whether or not she is aware of her information, whether or not by what companies are they used. And she didn't respond. She didn't, because she doesn't know who uses her information. This means that she unwillingly and unknowingly has given information to companies that use them in order to manipulate her into buying things that most probably she doesn't need, into buying products that most probably aren't better than the product produced by the small companies, into producing monopole on the marketplace and discouraging free market, and into making them actually lessening their information. So first of all, let's talk about the difference between targeted advertisement in general and the online advertisement, because there is a big difference. The opposition team has talked about targeted advertisement, but there is a difference. The online targeted advertisements are a lot more powerful and have a lot more impact on the individual than the general advertisement. But because of course all advertisements are targeted to women or to men in order to appeal to find customers for their products. But what the online targeted advertisements does is to use data that are personal, information that are even more personal. Like, they know what color is your favorite color, they know what kind of shoes you wear, they know what kind of movies you like watching, and based on this information they are making an advertisement to appeal to you. And moreover, what the internet or what the online targeted advertisement does different for the general advertisement is that it comes more often into your eyes, because whenever you search Google for anything like cats, dogs, India, then at the top of the list it will appear advertisements about Garnier, about Zara, about shops of clothing or hotels or things that may interest you. And this is like bombing the human mind with information and advertisements, and making them believe that they need things that they actually don't believe, and giving them information that are not actually accurate, and stopping them from going to search other sites for hotels, other sites for makeup or clothing, and they stop this information there. Moving forward, what the opposition said is that they are giving this serving and we are consenting to what is happening. But you are consenting for them to use your profile information. You are not consenting for them to sell your profile information. You are not consenting for them to give your profile information to the government, for them to give your profile information to other businesses. Moreover, let's talk about the products, because they said that this way they can make better products for you. But this actually won't happen. Once, because they can already make the product look better through advertisements, and secondly, because they already are on the top of the list by advertising. So you don't go down the list to search for small companies to see whether or not their products are better than yours. So they don't need to increase the quality, they just need to increase the quantity of advertising on the internet, and to increase the quantity of pressure that they put on you in order to buy. And this goes down to businesses, my third point. How does this work? The small companies do not have the money to access this kind of information. The small companies don't have the money to get out there. And this means that only the large companies will be shown up, and only large companies will have access to the population. So the small companies won't have access to the free market to present their products on the internet. And as I said before, internet, it's a great marketplace nowadays. And internet as a market shall also be free as any market, because if a market isn't free, and because if companies can't enter this kind of, small companies can't enter this kind of market, then we will create monopoly. Monopoly will go to these companies having more power over people and more power over governments, and also it will go for small companies to die. When small companies die, that means that local businesses and economy will go downwards. Going to their point of responsibility, we believe that not by using the citizens, not by using their profile information against them, and not by punishing them are we teaching them about responsibility, but by informing them about your products will you teach them about responsibility. This being said, please vote against the motion. Thank you for the motion. Thank you very much.
Anytime.
Free market, people are free to enter the market. People can't enter the market if they don't have Facebook accounts. Like the little person, Goans can get a warrant about Facebook and then violates the 14th self-incrimination. It's just to stop self-incrimination. Also, like, codex is a big company. It's not a small business. I forgot to talk about this. That the government's duty is to protect its businesses. But it's no, you talk about it. People lying about it. It's like the I want to be that. So
Okay. How will the problems regarding small businesses, such as discrimination, as you have stated in your speech, be solved if this resolution passes?
Very easily, the small businesses the customer will get informed about what products are better for him. Like they will search Google makeup products, and there will be Garnier, and then will be Vital, which is a Romanian company for makeup, and then can analyze those sites and see which product is better for them. While in this moment,
isn't that targeted research? Isn't that targeted information? Because since I am the one that
that's targeted research.
That I am the one that wants to use it. So if I want to use shampoo, I want to know what different brands of shampoo, then wouldn't I want my advertisements to be about shampoo? Because I want to buy it. Like, I need to use shampoo.
No, because this information, these advertisements don't only appear when you Google shampoo. It appears even when you Google cats, because they see that you once use the Garnier shampoo, and this is why then when you Google cats, it will appear an advertisement about shampoos.
Okay, are you aware that companies only know, such as Facebook only knows about you to the extent that you post on it? So companies only know to the amount that you tell them.
Yes, sir.
So if I take responsibility and I don't tell Facebook, if I don't put in my location, Facebook, or if I don't tell them my favorite color, they won't know what my favorite color is. Are you aware of that?
It's like not having a Facebook account.
So are you aware that if I don't put my information, if I say I like wearing watches, Facebook will have that information. But if I say I don't like if I don't say anything about that, are you aware that Facebook will never know if I like watches or not? Are you aware of that? I'm saying that, are you aware that companies only know to the amount that you give them?
Yes, but that companies shouldn't know even to that amount.
Okay, if they shouldn't know,
not consenting to that. You're only consenting for Facebook to use information, not
to
sell it to other companies.
If we give them then if we don't want them to know, why do we give the information to them?
because most of the people are not informed about the fact that their data is used by other companies and is being sold out there. You didn't know your data is used, and you don't know the companies that
I knew my data is used, but
Okay,
it doesn't
you don't know
matter.
the companies
Are
that
you aware
use your
that it
data.
doesn't? What difference does it make if I know exactly what companies that use my information, and depends on if I know the generalistic idea that companies use my information? What's the difference?
There is a big difference, because at least you can then ask for money for them to, because they have used your information. You at least can then
Do
see.
you believe it's important for companies to profit?
Yes, but I believe that it's also important for
Are
the
you aware
customer
that
to profit.
companies make a majority of the economy? Are you aware of that?
And population is the majority of the government and
Okay,
of the state.
Okay, thank you.
Negative time?
Wait, and skip.
Please.
So we should go back to you were right. It's a right to market. It's more for information, not a marketplace. And if you look at the marketplace, the most important thing about a marketplace, if you read Adam Smith, is that everyone can enter the market. Truly, if the interest is the market and some people can't get on the site, it doesn't matter. Because that means it's not a free market, and the economic benefits they're talking about means that people aren't making informed economic decisions. So, also, the internet doesn't support responsibility. People lie on the internet so much more easily. People's identity theft is going so much because people put their financial information on the internet. They want government warrants because you give your information to Facebook, they sell it. Government can say, okay, I want a warrant for that information, and then find you guilty of a bunch of things, and you can ruin your economic history, right? And credit is bad.
1 minute.
1 minute.
1 minute time.
About this project, people, as we said, meta debate, students about science, so I think protect human right to change freedom of culture.
I don't think we should go for culture. Don't go for culture. Just, okay, censorship is one right of foreign information for info. So, foreign for information, because it's a UN right. You can. So it's a foreign for information, it's a UN right. There's no response to that.
So this is the reason, right?
Yeah, that's why you have no entry into the marketplace.
Yeah, making it not effective.
So it's not free market. It's not.
How much prep time do we have left?
Give me just a second. That's 4:45. You have 3 minutes and 15 seconds.
Okay, thank you.
Jeff is ready.
Yes.
Okay, so as the second speaker of side opposition, I'd like to go over some of the main arguments that our opponents brought up and make rebuttals, as well as rebuilding on our own arguments. So one of the major things that came up in the debate so far was what happens to small businesses. Now, our opponents believe that small businesses are currently being harmed because they can't pay as much as larger businesses, and therefore they're not getting as many advertisements out in the internet as larger businesses, which ultimately harms them. Now, during the crossfire, we have asked our opponents, how will passing this resolution help these small businesses? Our opponents responded that people can go up and search for shampoo, and they can they use the shampoo example a lot, so they can search for what kind of shampoo they want, and they can analyze each website, and they can decide which ones to choose. However, we believe that passing this resolution isn't going to help small businesses at all. Instead, it's going to harm them. First of all, their solution will not work because larger businesses can actually pay these search websites, and they are actually doing that right now, so that their search results will come out before small businesses. Passing this resolution won't all of a sudden grant small businesses with so much advertisement rights. You're not going to see a lot more advertisement about about a restaurant in a remote island in the middle of the ocean compared to McDonald's, simply because we are no longer using targeted advertisements. Small businesses will still have less advertisements compared to larger businesses. However, we believe that small businesses actually benefit from targeted advertisements. For example, I'm pretty sure everybody has seen one of these advertisements, such as, are you looking for a middle-aged Hispanic woman in Galway, and like, you know, one of those marriage websites. And like there are many small businesses that actually benefit specifically from these kinds of advertisements, and you don't see them out in newspaper. You don't see them happen out in TV. However, you see them a lot in internet, because these small businesses are using targeted advertisement to find what kind of people would be interested in middle-aged Hispanic women that are living around this town. So if we ban targeted advertisements, these small businesses will suffer. And let me tell you that small businesses actually take up about an average of 80% of the total economy of a nation, and therefore we believe that this is very harmful both for small businesses and for the economy of the country as a whole, which none of them are really beneficial. So we believe that we win the argument about small businesses. Now, moving on to the argument about how it's unfair, it's unjust for these companies to manipulate with our information. Now, companies are not manipulating with our information. We are giving them consent by agreeing to the terms and conditions. Sure, our opponents did state that not many people actually read the terms and conditions, but that doesn't mean that these terms and conditions doesn't exist. Just because nobody read the entire Constitution of the United States or whatever other country out there doesn't mean that these laws don't exist. So it is we believe that it's a responsibility of everybody who agrees to terms and conditions to actually agree, and we believe that by doing so, as we have clearly stated in our first condition, we create a more responsible society where people take more actions and more responsibility for whatever they do, whether it be signing up to a certain specific website or agreeing to certain conditions. We believe that we are creating a more responsible society where people think more before they take any sort of action, and we believe that this is beneficial. And our opponents also stated that okay, if I think our opponents also talked about how like if this happens, then like people are going to stop using Facebook. We believe that this actually helps, because these people cannot actually. We are actually having a supply and demand market economy where the businesses are actually responding to what the citizens want. Businesses are responding to what the customers want. If what the customers want is to change, for example, the entire terms and condition into simple English so that everybody can understand, then they can do that. If the people want them to. So like we believe that by having targeted advertising, by having corporations use these information, we are essentially having, first of all, businesses listen to people more, and secondly, we are creating a more responsible society which is beneficial as a whole. For these reasons, we are very proud to oppose. Thank you.
Would you agree that the free market is probably the best economic system we should look to?
Yes.
Okay. Have you gone to an economics class or read any Adam Smith, for example?
No, I'm not.
Okay. One of the first requirements of a free market is that in order to enter the market, it is a free entry and exit. If we have to pay to get into an internet market, how can we have a free market and economic system where people can make the most efficient economic choice?
No, but then it's not like bypassing this resolution all of a sudden.
No, I'm just asking you. Let us prove that. But if it costs money to enter the market in the first place, how can we have a free market system?
What do you mean it costs money to enter?
Okay,
the market?
I need to pay money to sell a product because people are spending primarily their time on the internet, right? So if I need to pay money to get onto that market, how are we going to have people making informed economic decisions that show a productive free market?
No, trading advertisement has nothing to do with entering the market. You can
Okay,
enter
the internet is a market, right? It's a store. I go into a store and I say, these are the products I can buy and I want to see how much I can pay for them. If some people can't make it onto the internet shelves and can't even be seen when people go onto the internet, how do people make an informed economic choice?
Exactly, that's why we are opposing this resolution.
Okay.
It's going to harm specific small businesses.
So the legal age of getting onto Facebook is 13, right?
Yes.
Okay, can I make a Facebook if I'm 11?
Not legally.
Not legally. Does anyone stop me if I go and I'm 11 years old and I say, oh, I'm just going to change the year that I was born? Is anyone going to stop me?
Well,
No, right? There's no check. There's no check
So
to say people are putting the right information
wait,
online, right?
We don't believe that just because nobody's persecuting you for a specific law. That
Right,
doesn't
but we
mean that
can't
the
live in
law
a world
doesn't
where we
exist.
assume people are following the law, right? People break the law all the time. I got a Facebook when I was 10 because it was fun, and no one stopped me, right?
Yes, but
Okay,
once
so
again,
I can
that
still
was-
put my
that-
personal
that was-
information
that
up
was-
without
that
having
was
any
your-
formal
That
consent,
was
right?
your own choice. That was your
That was
own
my choice, but
responsibility to
don't.
break the law
Okay,
and
so under
join
your world,
Facebook.
people should have responsibility at the age of 9 when they have access to the internet.
Well, either that or their parents should have responsibility
Okay,
for their
okay.
children entering
So,
Facebook
so
when they're not.
in the negative world, the second you can get onto a computer, you are required to know everything about your internet rights. Who is going to teach me that?
Nobody forces you to join
Okay, but you're
Facebook
putting,
or
so
Google.
you're in the neg world, 8-year-olds are responsible for the information that they put online and have to be knowledgeable.
Nobody's telling that 8-year-old that you
I
have to
understand
join
that, but
Facebook.
8-year-olds are stupid, right?
No.
People,
Well,
okay.
either that or
Okay,
their
so in
parents
your
aren't
world,
stupid.
there's a new age of consent, and it's decided by someone who's not old enough to consent.
No, it's decided by their
Okay, what's the
parents if
purpose
they're-
of the internet?
Depends on how you use it. There's like tons of purposes.
Why do I go on the internet? Why do I search cats?
Whether
for
it be,
information,
whether it
right?
be for your personal interests about cats.
Okay,
or-
so it's about interest. Okay, thank you.
Remember, we have 7 minutes left.
Yes, we'll give them all.
Yeah, we're gonna use all of them. Okay. Okay, so let's just like do points. Okay, so let's say
They kept repeating that the business want to make money, you know? They use people to make money. And we say that our right to info, right, and our right to information is more important than businesses making money. And furthermore, we believe that businesses will make money even if we are informed, but the right businesses will make money.
Right, businesses make money.
And this is how you should start, I think.
And also say they never responded to the UN Charter.
Yeah.
So say it's a UN right. And then they're going to say it's not going to stop search results, but that just means maybe the internet isn't the best place for buying things. That is right. Like they say, oh, it's not going to stop marketing, but then we see all the products. It lets people make the choice. Maybe it's a little more work, but people make the right economic choice. People make the choice for themselves and about what they want.
Internet is to inform people, to let people get informed.
Okay, and so then you say, okay, so first point in the app world, internet is for information, and we want the right businesses to make money.
아니 근데 애들 문제 때문에 이걸 할
Okay.
아니 진짜 그러니까 애들이 페이스북 쓰는 거에 짜증나게 싫어하면 그냥 페이스북 그때 그냥 진짜 뭐
No, okay, just say the internet is supposed to be a forum for information.
필요한데 그 애들 때문에
Internet is for information because it's a UN right. They didn't respond to this. Second, we want them to get all the search results, not targeted search results, because people need to make the autonomous decision what they want.
One I noticed last night, this little part, pretty balance.
Let people make the choice for themselves what they want.
to get information, not just the targeted information.
내가 인터넷 쓰려면 그거에 관련된 컨텐츠를 내가
That they would make them 애들이 성공하는 애들이 이거 얘기하는 이걸
So, third, there's no check on the internet. They say they're getting the right information to the right people. There's no check on people's identity. There's no check that people are putting the right information in. And there's no way to regulate it. So can we just say, there's no check for the third point. There's no check on the information people put into the internet.
I was doing a tournament in the States.
So this argument is about
Impromptu speakers.
Yeah, it's not about just people lie. People just say people lie on the internet. I lie on the internet. I wanted to find out the information, how much money my congressperson is making, but I didn't want them to know that I had looked that up, so I lied and said my name is Rachel.
Yeah, so he's no
There's no check that people put the right information. So it's not effective.
Yeah, big cars.
근데 문제는 애들이 이 광고를 보고 물건 사는 게 아니야. 8살들 광고 보고 물건 사?
아니 이건 사는 게 아니야.
businesses because this is
지금 이거는 광고에 대한 거잖아. 애들이 페이스북 있는데 우리는 광고만 얘기하면 돼.
Four, small business can't pay to be in the marketplace. And say, like if you read the first rule of economics is that people need to be able to get on the shelf in order to have a good market. It's not about advertising, not about business, it's about people making the choice for themselves. That's like core conservative economic theory.
Like
Also, it's gonna be really fun if you say that like Kotex is a major brand and it's also owned by larger companies. Okay, you should be funny.
maybe this is small business can do
So can we just do this? Okay, so first it's a form and it's even right. There's no entry into online market, so it's not a free market. Let people choose what they want. More effective. More effective.
근데 문제는 이게 문제.
There's no check when people put the right info,
애들 페이스북
so
쓰는 거
it's less
싫어한다고 하고 우리
effective.
이거 해봤자 애들 페이스북 없어? 애들 페이스북 쓰잖아. 그리고 애들 그냥 계속
Small
근데 문제는
businesses
애들이 광고를
pay as much as big companies,
so they don't have access.
which causes monopolies,
yeah.
which is terrible
For the quality
for free market
and the consumer.
and consumer.
뭐냐면
And then so the fifth point should just be consent is not.
이건
Okay. So then just the last point is information. Internet is a form of information. Internet should be a forum for info.
It's not the same.
No, we want to say it again.
This is right and this is
The forum for internet. The purpose of
근데
the
이거
internet.
없어도 못 내는
Not a marketplace. Don't censor information based on who I am.
아니
Don't
얘네가
discriminate
얘기하는 문제는
what
다
information I
이게
get based
패스를 해도
So just say that. Don't discriminate on what information I get based on who I am.
Yeah, just state it like that. Or you can say
이렇게 잘 말하고 이제 가서 딴 얘기하는 거야.
Don't. Do you know what that means? Don't discriminate the info.
I can't draw.
Okay, just also we
It's sort of like the NSA. You know, if you-
did you see the
Yeah,
first 2 minutes
so
or did you not have 2 minutes? Whatever, that's all.
The situation.
We dropped the government warrant argument. The government can always get a warrant. Can you just say, and also the government can always get a warrant. for
Last
this.
10 seconds.
Okay. So the government can,
that access.
yeah, they could just say, the government can buy the information too.
I mean, the
I'm not saying that. And then that's the same.
Just go to the point, you don't need this page.
Time.
Here's this one, yeah. Government can buy anyone can buy the information, including the government.
Transition, and democratic government seems to be going a little bit skewed.
그 다음에 이 상황에서는 차별하는데
Can I start?
A.
Okay, I'll start. Thank you, Chairperson. I want you to remember the first argument about us. As we said, this debate is about value, not about like plans. So criteria should be value. So please think about our value. Please confirm this point. And our value is to protect humans and to protect business. That means like saving a small company and to avoid monopoly. Then I'll talk about what the internet place is. Internet is forum for information, and as I said in UN right, please confirm our point. This is consensus because negative team don't attack it. So please confirm that internet should be a forum for information. Please confirm this point. And if information is such place, no entry into online market should no entry into online market is invalid. We should of course small companies should participate in that business on the internet. And as we said, please confirm our government side first argument about right to know. We should let people choose information what they want. Please confirm this point. As I said in right to information, the right to information has two means. First is that they are censored, they are stolen their privacy. And second one is they cannot know much about a small company, and of course that make a monopoly. So that is the right to know. Please confirm this point. And if the internet is a forum that should be free, we think we affirmative think we should let people to choose the information what they want. And about consent. When they enter the Facebook or something, there is no check. There is no check, and they can. And when they enter Facebook, they cannot know that their privacy will stolen and their privacy will use to monopoly. So please confirm that. This is not legitimate, and this is not legitimate. So please confirm this point. And I want to confirm that internet forum for information, internet purpose. Internet's purpose is, as I said, internet's purpose is free place. So when we think about that, the right to know should be free. The right to know should be used freely by general public, and monopoly on the internet is not valid. So we should take this plan, and please confirm our value. Our value is that protecting human and protecting small company. That means internet will not allow the market to be monopoly. But on the other hand, negative side argument is about like culture or like making money. We think that to make money, the process should be valid. The process should be legitimate. So as we said, internet is free. So the business should be done freely. That means small companies should participate in, and to avoid monopoly, we should take this plan. And about right to know, as we said, right to know should be free because right to know should be because this is consensus that UN the right of UN is not attacked. So this is consensus. This is consensus in this debate. So to protect right to know and to avoid monopoly, we should take this plan. And please confirm our criteria. We should think in value. Thank you for listening.
No, it's fine. It's so hard to like translate back and forth. So, like,
Can you hear my?
yeah, no, it's fine. Like, and I think like they know because they got to understand they know the argument that you're referring to, and then he's like, please can you bring this like goes back.
Yeah, but you can't read it. I can't look at it. I wrote it, I can't read it.
You did really well.
Really sweet. Oh, very good.
No, they don't answer to an argument, and then you say it again, then it's true. At least in the US debate, that's what we do. It's like we call it an extension, and then they have to assume that it's true. Like if you make an argument, at least in like the US debate, you make an argument and they don't respond to it, and then you bring it up again, it's assumed true in the round. They can't argue it again.
Time.
Okay, so may I begin? Okay, so good morning, ladies and gentlemen, honorable judge and worthy opponents. Today I'm very pleased to be able to speak to you as the last speaker on the side of opposition to prove to you why this resolution must fall. Now, we believe our opponents have failed to engage with our constructive speech. A lot of the points that we raised in our constructive speech were not really responded, therefore I will be going back to it through my clash areas that I'll point out. And also we believe that the problems raised by our opponents in their speeches won't even be solved by this resolution, which I will further explain in the clash areas. So I'll go over the three main clash areas of this debate to prove to you why this resolution was flawed. So first of all, we think we must talk about the effect on people. Now, we believe that people not reading the terms and conditions, it's actually the fault of those people and we cannot legally blame any of the businesses for what they're doing because they have actually let the people know what they have been doing. And we do agree that like maybe people don't know what their information is being used. But we think, as we have clearly outlined in our first speech, if people really don't want to look at these advertisements anymore, they will realize that this is happening because of what they are putting online, on their Facebook, or what they're doing on internet. Therefore, we see like these people will become more aware and responsible of what they're doing. And maybe they'll demand the market for change. And because businesses like Facebook and Google want to stay alive, they will change to what consumers want, which is how we have explained it in our first contention. And we see that our opponents did not really respond to this. But the problem raised by our opponents was the question of like children under like the age of 13 going on Facebook and just using Facebook. Now we see like we have multiple responses to this problem. We see that like it was the children's choice to break the law, to break the rule and the rules on Facebook. Therefore, we see no responsibility to protect these children online. We also think we also must recognize the fact that these children aren't the ones buying this product from the advertisement. Therefore, the problem is very small. And we see that even if we pass this resolution, it does not solve this problem. If we really care about the children on Facebook, maybe we should just change some other Facebook rules. We think that this is not the right policy to implement in order to solve this problem. Now I'll talk about the products regarding this resolution. Now our opponents have stated that our opponents mistakenly thinking that internet advertisements are like mind washing people. It's like we're putting a gun at their head and forcing these people to buy the products that are being advertised, which we think is clearly false. Like if a person is going on a vacation, they actually care about what quality hotel they stay in and the price, then they would go online, look for their hotels. Just because they see a hotel advertisement on the left top screen of their Facebook, it's not like they're gonna go ahead and book the Facebook. The same thing applies to, for example, buying shampoos. If they actually care about their hair and what they're using, they're gonna go to the store and read the back of their shampoo. It's not like just because they see an advertisement on the shampoo, they're gonna go and just buy it 100%. We think that this is a false idea to have. Therefore, we see that this targeted online advertisement is not really hurting people's choice to buy their products, because it's not like we're forcing these people to buy. We're letting these people know that these kind of products exist, but if people actually care about what they buy and what they use, they will go online to look for the things. Therefore, we see that this opponent's assumption that we're like forcing these people to buy these products is clearly false. And I'll now move on to talk about the effect on the businesses. Now, we would clearly like to point out how our first sub-point and our second contention, as we have stated in our constructive speech, the point about how government's actually hurting these businesses' ability to run. Because we see like the businesses like Facebook and Google, the only way for them to run and stay alive is by selling disinformation. And we have clearly explained to you how if the government was to implement this policy, the government is actually hurting these businesses' ability to run themselves and stay alive, which we think is too much government control put on the businesses, which was went unresponded by our opponents. Now I'll move on to other things that concern the businesses, like the small businesses. Now our opponents we have stated in our speech that it will actually benefit the small businesses. So Mr. and Mrs. Judge, what we must realize is that putting a small advertisement on Facebook or whatever social networking site is so much cheaper than like putting a 20-second advertisement on TV or creating a big billboard on the side of the highway, which is why a lot of small businesses turn to this targeted online advertisement, and it is the only option that they have to advertise. Therefore, we see how this is actually helping the small businesses. Now, our opponents have pointed out the problem of maybe only like big companies can advertise online. Now, even if this was the case, this will not solve this problem, because we see like the whole thing with advertising is that if a company has money, you can advertise. If you don't have money, you cannot advertise. So if this logic was to come true, then it must be why this resolution must fall. We think like our opponents are actually arguing like we should stop advertising itself, because we see like the nature of advertising itself is that like businesses with money can advertise. They can create like 20-second commercials on TV, whatever. But we see that like this is not the reason to pass this resolution. And because of these three reasons, we think that this resolution must fall. Thank you.
Thank you all for an outstanding debate, and if you could leave us for a moment or two, we'll call you back in.